Deadpool 3, or Deadpool and Wolverine, which is now the official title, is finally out, and I feel it's only right that I talk about it. But before I start with that, I might as well quickly share my thoughts on the first two films. So the first one, which released in 2016, definitely hit the mark from what I expected from a Deadpool movie. I was already sort of familiar with the character, not through the comics, but through Wolverine vs Hulk and Marvel vs Capcom 3, and another film that I'd rather not talk about. Anyway, I had a great time with the movie. There were some really good heartfelt moments which helped with the pacing in my opinion, because one of the worries I had was that the comedic parts would eventually run its course, but I felt like it was balanced well with enough intense and often sad moments. The fight scenes were also done very well. If there was one nitpick, I would say that the CG was a bit too obvious in certain parts, but that's pretty much it to be honest. Overall, an incredible experience. Deadpool 2, which arrived 2 years later, included a lot more characters like Cable and Domino, along with a few brief cameos. One of the many things that was noticeable straight away was that the action scenes had been taken to a whole other level, and I enjoyed it a lot. As you can expect, there are numerous fourth wall breaks and references that were great. Josh Brolin did an awesome job as Cable and the whole cast really, so no complaints there whatsoever. I really don't want to spoil anything, so watch both if you haven't already for some reason. Even though I did enjoy the movie, I will say that the first one in my opinion just seemed a lot more tied together and focused if you get what I mean, but other than that, it was still a great time. Okay, now Deadpool 3 was something else. I mean, it was crazy. I'm not going to spoil anything, at least not as much as some trailers already have. From the start, I was kind of worried due to the fact it involves the TVA, and although I did enjoy the Loki series, I'm just kind of done with multiverses in the MCU. But I will say this, the movie does handle it quite decently. There are moments where you obviously do benefit from knowing stuff that happened in the Loki show, and I can see how it might make things confusing for people that didn't watch it. There were numerous surprises that I never would have guessed making an appearance, and it definitely had me grinning throughout a lot of the scenes. I'm actually surprised that there weren't much leaks for this movie. I mean, I didn't see any whatsoever, and I'm happy about that obviously. Maybe it's because it wasn't as big of a release as Endgame or at least No Way Home. I personally think it still was, but I'm grateful I didn't see any spoilers, especially with how much this film is being talked about. It was a very entertaining experience, but again, it's one of those situations where if you're not familiar with a lot of Marvel movies in general, not just the MCU, then you might feel a bit lost during certain moments. There were also parts where I felt like the pacing was a bit off, but nothing too crazy. The whole narrative of Deadpool potentially helping to resurrect the MCU is very interesting. One thing I was hoping to see was for him to call out most of the issues we've been having within these last couple of phases, and I was glad to see that happen throughout various scenes. I'm not going to say anything more at the risk of spoiling the movie though. Fun fact, Ryan Reynolds during a Hot Ones interview with Hugh Jackman stated that he was going to put out a fake movie during opening weekend that would eventually lead into Deadpool 10 minutes in to help avoid leaks or spoilers. They even had a poster made and everything. The test footage for the first film actually leaked 2 years prior to its release date, and I'm sure that was done on purpose to create buzz and to show 20th Century Fox the potential of the film. Good thing they ended up getting on board with the idea, because we would have probably had to deal with that other Deadpool instead. Just like how Robert Downey Jr. and Hugh Jackman really embody their respective roles as Iron Man and Wolverine, Ryan Reynolds is on that same level for me with Deadpool. I can't imagine anyone else playing that character. He was actually referenced in one of the comics back in 2004, which obviously sparked the idea way before X-Men Origins. So it's great that he got to try again after that movie and ended up killing it afterwards. I'm curious to see where the character is going to end up next. Kevin Feige recently stated that they're making way for the mutant saga after the multiverse phases are done. And I'm obviously ready for it, as long as they keep things steady and focused while sticking to putting out quality over quantity moving forward. Let me know down below what you think about the Deadpool films and the future of the MCU. Thanks so much if you made it this far into the video, and please like and subscribe for more videos like these in the future. Anyway, that's all I've got for now, so I'll catch you in a bit.